Welcome to the Office of Dreams. Oh, hey, Mac.
Hey, Poppy, what you doing?
Oh, I'm just working along. What about you?
Grandma and Grandpa took me to the Sticks Boardwalk to eat.
That sounds fun. Did you have a good time?
I did. I love hearing the stories they tell about Dad from a long time ago. But it did get me thinking.
Well, what's weighing heavy on your mind?
Grandma and Grandpa are Dad's parents. What about yours?
But that's a different story.
What do you mean?
In my cycle of lives, I pretty much had the same parents each time. And although I really loved my parents, there were a lot of issues. My mom, this time, had a lot of emotional issues that made her, let's say, unavailable when I was younger. And my dad, because of the kind of work he did, partook in some things that would help him stay awake. And that a lot of times made him very aggressive. And that he took out on my sister and me. My sister was the oldest and I was the youngest. We had a brother who was the middle child, but he seemed to favor him. One of my very first memories was being at a party. I think I was 2, 3 years old. And all of the adults were in the front of the house, and all the kids were in the back of the house, and there was a door that shut to separate us. And we were all playing. But I remember beating on the door, crying for my mom. And my sister was coming over saying, "Come on, let's go play." She was trying to do everything she could just to get me away from the door. But I was just too young to understand. So I was beating on the door, crying, and all of a sudden I could hear this horrible rumbling sound from the other side of the door. And I just knew I had to run. I had to get away. And as I looked back, the door kind of splintered open, and it was my dad. And he had this look on his face, and I knew I had to run because I was going to get hurt. I also looked back and saw my sister. She dove off of the couch and landed on top of me and kind of like cupped me up under her to protect me. And that's when the belt started flying. She wouldn't cry because she was afraid it was going to scare me, but I could hear what it was doing. I don't know how long that went on, but it went on for a while. And that was just one among many. Again, like I said, my dad seemed to favor my brother, and I never understood that. I couldn't understand how a dad could love one of his sons more than he did the other. But as I got older, I started realizing, I was more of a sensitive kid, and then later on, I realized, I was gay. And in my family, that was just a no-no. I was raised to believe that people like that were going to hell, and that I was an abomination. So I never could share my milestones with my family, like my first kiss or my first love. Um, that was just something I had to go through without my family. Now, at the end of my dad's life, I thought we had kind of repaired our issues. In fact, I was with him on his deathbed, and after it was over, I felt better about our relationship. But it wasn't until later I found out that everything I had ever been told that would be mine, which wasn't much. It was a little plot of land that I had always dreamed about putting a house on because I had my family around me. That had been given to my brother instead of me, and I was completely written off. So I knew how I stood with my family, and it wasn't good.
Poppy, I'm so sorry. I never knew that.
Honestly, I'm not sure I would have ever brought it up because it's still a sore topic for me.
But you have a great life now.
I do. And my found family has made everything I've ever gone through worth it.
If you could go back and change all of that, would you?
No, if I changed one thing, I might not be the person who I am now, and I may not have ever met your dad or you.
You mean you would go through all of that again just to make sure you were my Poppy?
Mac, I would have walked across a desert of salted, broken glass just to make sure I'd have met your dad and that I became your Poppy.
Poppy, I would carry you across the glass.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never
Hey guys.
know, dear,
Oh,
how much
so
I
we're
love
hugging.
you. That's
Please
good.
don't
I could
take
spend the
your
whole day like this.
sunshine away.
Me too.